I just brought these speakers up 3.
Yeah,
And then I just changed the panning for these front two as well.
sweet. Okay.
Anything else? Yeah, I think it's sounding good for me.
The project as a whole is a combination of lights, electronic music, and the bassoon itself. This world that all of these 3 things combined is almost like taking the bassoon and allowing people to step into it and experience something of what it might be like to be in a giant bassoon.
I was very excited at the prospect of collaborating with John. I was also very keen in my personal practice to create works for the bassoon that I think are very experimental and leave a lot of room for playfulness and exploration, but also works that engage with different disciplines. So not just acoustic works and not even just works involving technology, but also other media. So in this case, I had the idea not only a work for bassoon in this ambisonic setup, but also bringing a new discipline into the project, which is light, and not only just light, but sound-reactive light. Through this, we were able to create a system for bassoon, light, and sound that engages with each other and bounces off each other, so every single performance of the work is unique, which is really exciting.
So the first time I heard the piece, that was really scary. I was in the audience with my little notebook taking some notes, and in this time my role was understand how the sound is behaving and find different ways in which the lights could behave and feed different parameters, different information. Not really make a light design, but make a series of rules for a dynamic light design to take place.
We holed ourselves up in Manchester to begin with, and we went through reams and reams and reams of material, and I was really interested in figuring out how the bassoon responded to Olivia, how Olivia responded to the bassoon, what the specific materials that she was interested in were and why she was interested in them, and really exploring the minutiae, the detail of how does this instrument work. It's a really unpredictable instrument. It's, for that reason, quite a terrifying instrument to work with, because what you think may happen probably won't if you're coming at it from the outside in. And that whole week, I think it was about a week.
It's 10 days.
10 days we spent in Manchester and then going over to Edinburgh as well and just documenting all that in the fantastic studios we have here at the University of Edinburgh. It was a long but very worthwhile process. Yeah.
In the second phase, it was John's turn to travel, so he travelled over to Rheinsberg, actually, where my ensemble had a residency at that time. We were able to connect their resources and my ensemble's resources to further support our collaboration. So we did try out the piece for the first time in Rheinsberg, which was very exciting. I rocked up with a paper score with not much of a concept to how the electronics would sound, and we tried it out in the Schlosstheater in Rheinsberg, got our initial documentation, first presentation of the work, and then after that we performed it twice again in Berlin. So one time at the Universität der Künste, and then again at NYT Art Space in Charlottenburg. That was a really exciting time to trying out different configurations for the audience. You know, one concert had cushions where they could lie down on. Another concert had kind of chairs in a circle. We were just testing out also for the audience how it would be. So this was the version for bassoon and ambisonics.
It's really amazing to get that first performance in and just see how does this whole thing look and sound when it comes together. And then secondly, okay, which bits can we zoom in on and really hash out the detail of and mold to our liking. First time I saw the lights, this piece was in the Belfast concert, and it struck me as really, really beautiful to finally see the thing that we had envisioned from the beginning come to life, and in such a sensitive, empathetic, understanding way. The light design had been crafted with such a strong sense of connection to what Olivia and I had been doing.
I think especially that we have these different elements, there's a lot that people can engage with regardless of their background. So it was very meaningful to be able to bring it to Belfast, also to Edinburgh, and then it's meaningful to have the final stop in Manchester, the city where everything began. Through the IKF, we have been able to expand this project to its full potential. So not only creating a work limited to perhaps one performance due to financial constraints, but we've really been afforded the time and space for experimentation and for trying out this work in many different settings. For experimenting with the audience placement, with the types of technology we're working with to really grow this piece to something that I think we're all very proud of.
With an extended scene, and right before it, it's the busiest part of the piece with a lot going on, and at this point I'm feeding the patch a lot of information. It's really hard to follow exactly what's happening, and when we enter this final quieting down, there's a really beautiful gesture that Olivia repeats, a high multiphonic that comes up to 3 times. The patch understands Olivia's playing this gesture, it all turns to blue. Then it just becomes quieter and quieter, softer and softer, and by the very end, they just fade out one by one.